Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hopes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been golden when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Call her era lore. Call me Levi, playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock, and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the blockchain.
Now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hopes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like LeBron James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. The field's not falling for the FOMO. Listening to Coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum NFTs. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I gotta shout out
Started
the
off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hopes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Freaking the mood to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in suits. Yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, miny, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. I had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. So I had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the ride with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeCoin, where we dive into all things crypto, NFTs, Web3, and cutting-edge technology. Remember, nothing here is financial advice. Early-stage tech can be exceptionally volatile and risky. So grab your coffee and join Cap and Steve for today's conversation.
Welcome to the future.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain. Welcome to Coffee with Captain GM. Thanks so much for joining us. If you've already done so, do us a favor, drop us a GM in the chat down below. Then head up top, smash that like, repost, and bookmark on today's space. Greatly appreciate it. Warms up the algo and does us a real solid. I got some feedback that the audio was low. Is it better now? Can any of you give me a mic check? Are we good? Looks like we're good. Appreciate Diablito and Mel and everyone else that gave me that heads up. As always, I'm Cap. May or may not be joined by my co-host today. Steve is attempting to leave Vegas. He may still be asleep. Steve maybe missed a flight this morning. He may be on a plane. He was planning on joining. So if anyone has a proof of life on Steve, let me know. He may have just continued the fun festivities over the weekend. I woke up extremely tired. I'm normally like fly up out of bed at like 5 a.m. Around 7:15, about 45 minutes before show, I rolled over like, oh my goodness, it's the latest I've slept in a long time, at least East Coast time. Dragging a little bit this morning. Late night flight got in, I don't know, about 1 a.m. And well, let's do this. Let's get things warmed up, and I'll wait to jump into things. But let's just say there may or may not have been copious amounts of fungi involved this weekend, and I think I'm just a little dragging coming off the fun festivities over the weekend. So if Steve doesn't join, I may have to take a few, like 6 or 7 coffee breaks this morning. But as always, again, I'm Cap, probably joined by my co-host Steve. Never any financial advice this year. Crypto is risky, NFTs risky, meme coins exceptionally risky. They all go to zero to moment's notice. Please don't put any money you can't afford to lose. Know that Steve and I hold tokens. We'll talk about it from time to time. We are not financial advisors. Certainly not your financial advisor. Don't join us for that. Just join us for some fun, some information, and a little bit of education along the way. I'm also starting to hear my voice crack. So there's a chance by the end of the show, we may be cooked. But no complaints. Incredible weekend. We're going to get into it. Yeah, I'm sure Steve's good, but I I see our guy Tebow out there in the chat. We're just going to jump right into that. Big congrats. If you missed it, let me see if I can go grab that video because it was epic. Our guy Tebow. It's funny. I think I didn't confirm, but there is a very good possibility. So that the first ever Bored Ape Yacht Club poker championship was held yesterday. It's kind of how we wound down ApeFest. Steve, I just pinned Steve's post up top. He got, geez, I think did some numbers. 42,000 impressions, 500 plus likes. Everyone loving the Tebow win. He took down the inaugural Bored Ape Yacht Club Poker Classic. Absolute legend. If you missed it, he also won the Ape Chain Raid Challenge on Wall Chain. And just, I mean, he's a friend, but also just an absolute, like, if you could pick, like, who do we want in the club? It's Tebow. Tebow is just like an absolute, I mean, a legend in his own right, but just an absolute gem and an incredible addition to the club. I mean, I say addition, he's been in the club for quite some time, but he wasn't like, he wasn't in, he didn't mint, he wasn't early, like as early as like Steve and myself. Vividly remember he got started, but he had a mutant. He just kept flipping his way, trading NFTs, and went and collected his OG mutant to match his mutant. And now he holds a lot of assets in the ecosystem, as well as a very nice bracelet that's pinned up top. I'll grab the video and show it for those watching the stream here. But Crypto Jeweler made incredible bracelets, I think 6 carats, 1,000 diamonds in total. And it was, I think 20K is what they put on is the value of the bracelet itself, although it's priceless. And took home, I think, $7,000 for winning the poker classic. So I said, while Tebow was the last person to get knocked out, here's the video I'll play to him. Is the audio coming through? I love the chest beat.
Tebow! I got 2008
So that's up top. I couldn't tell if that audio was coming through or not. So if not, my apologies. Oh, audio is good. Awesome. Again, big congrats to Tebow. Incredible event. Had a lot of fun. I hope it's an annual event. In fact, I'll be actually disappointed if it's not an annual event. If Bored Ape Yacht Club doesn't want to spearhead it, I think we may have to just do it on our own. But after the feedback, and I mean, there was well over, I think, 200 people that played, and just a really great weekend, capped off with an incredible event. Safe travels to everyone who's still out there. Excuse me. Little sleepy Monday morning, slow start. If you haven't already given us a like, repost, a bookmark on the space, we'd appreciate the help getting warmed up. And like I said, Steve may or may not be joining us this morning. So Machiavelli says last time he saw Steve was 7 hours ago, and the dealer was rinsing all the apes at the blackjack table. Tebow and Rita included, and Steve had the biggest smile on his face, ear to ear. Just an awesome weekend. 7 hours ago tells me Steve probably didn't get to bed early, and he may be sleeping. He may be missing his flight. He may be telling us tomorrow about how he is down bad because he missed his flight to speak at Harvard. I doubt it. Steve's more responsible for that, but I digress. It's open stage, so if anyone wants to share any ApeFest stories, if Steve doesn't join us this morning, we probably won't go the full 2 hours. Like I said, I'm kind of cooked, just candidly speaking, and I'm catching up as well. So as far as like news of the day and stuff, it's ApeFest world, or Ape world, and we're all living in it. Certainly looking forward to going through and talking about all the big announcements. Incredible Saturday night, full of announcements. I was kind of blown away. Expectations were exceeded, both in terms of announcements as well as just the overall experience, the club itself. If you've been tuning in, I've been kind of feeling a certain way about the club and what's the future. What does it mean for members, especially those that may not be deep in other side, or what is the club itself, right? What is the utility of the club? And I think that was answered pretty well this weekend, and really, really excited about this clubhouse in Miami. That construction is underway in January. But like I said, if anyone wants to share any ApeFest stories, feel free to throw in a request. Happy to have you up on stage and talk through it. Bear with me as I do my best to keep up with all the chats this morning. Zonko, great meeting you as well. Absolutely. And shout out to everyone who took the time to come say hello. I'm trying to think how to say this to where it's not like an asshole. The reality is, like, see nice faces out there. Like, we're doxxed. Often, as literally as always, every event, at least one or more people will end up recognizing us, not by our faces, but rather they hear our voice and they're like, Cap or Steve. So appreciate everyone who does that, because it's easier for, if we've never seen you, obviously it's easier for you to introduce yourself than us going around looking at everyone's stickers or badge or whatever their or maybe there's no even image of their profile pic. But just an incredible weekend. I'm riding high still, and despite being a little tired this morning, we will power through. The biggest challenge running solo shows is I consume a lot of liquid throughout the show, a lot of coffee, some tea, and I'm not a fan of dead air, so you have to bear with me as I get hydrated. I see Dobbins out there. It's great seeing you. Obviously, Big Cuz, NFT Drew, obviously our guy Dort. Really, my favorite part of ApeFest weekend is just that. But that said, let's go ahead and get into things here. I think shout out Green Edge, appreciate the tip. But let's do this. Let's kind of talk through at least from my point of view, we'll talk through the week, and then spend probably a little more time on ApeFest announcements. And I kind of was live tweeting throughout ApeFest. I haven't done a full comprehensive thread yet. If anyone's seen, I know there's a few out there, like a singular thread with like that bullet points all the updates. If anyone's seen a good one of those, let me know. Steve probably put one out. Like I said, I've been offline for the most part, minus posting. I haven't been consuming much for the last 4 or 5 days. So if anyone has a good thread of, here was all the updates that Garga and team shared, tag me in that or pin that, drop it in the chat, pin it up top. It would be helpful to talk through things when we get to that. But before I move on, still a couple minutes here, quote open. Joey, I saw you flew up through your hand up. GM, sir, what brought you up this morning? Oh, appreciate it. And real. It's a good question. I don't know. I call him teammate too. I don't know. Awesome. Appreciate that. Yeah, and Chief, we are going to do a rundown of the announcements. Joey hooked us up with the thread here from TMA. I'm not seeing it up top, but I'm sure it'll pop up there in a second. I'll go grab it, and we'll do a screen share. Yeah, sleepy start. Maybe we can blame X for the sleepy start this morning. But I got one from Dobbins too, from J-Bond. Appreciate that. Shout out. I'll pin that up top. I should have done my own and pinned it this morning, but we'll get that later today. Mega ETH pre-sale wraps up here, I think at 9 Eastern, if you've not yet. It's either 9 Eastern or noon. I can't remember. Oh, that's awesome. Wild Order said, after seeing your post, I decided to get my first Yuga asset. Big congrats, Wild Order. Let's go give Wild Order some love. Dort, I see you out there. Wild Order, if you've not yet connected with Welcome Apes, you're definitely want to go check out that account and tune into one of their Welcome Wednesday spaces. I obviously, Dort is someone I consider a great friend. I got a chance to meet Law of the Saw for the first time. It was awesome seeing Law of the Saw, giving him a big old bear hug. Same thing with Machiavelli. Not hearing X. Okay, so hold on a second. Joey, they said they couldn't hear you on YouTube. So let's do, and I promise we will get to all this. You know what? I will share this TMA post. So if anyone's watching the video, you can You can do this as I do a quick troubleshoot on the audio. I think the echo might be the new digs. I moved and it's just a larger room here. And I don't, there's one more sound thing I have on my mic that I didn't hook up yet, but let me bigger than that. I need to get your audio solved for. So I just need to unplug 2 cords and plug them back in. Go ahead and say something, Joey. That way we can see if you come through. Just talk like nonstop, like 30 seconds if you can. We'll be right back. I dropped the wrong cord. Hold on, excuse me. All right, now check. Joe, you still there? Ooh, lost him altogether. Oh, that's not great. So I got 100. Can people hear Joey now? And I can't hear Joey. Let me check here. That was probably the problem. I think I figured it out. Check. Say something, Joey. Shit.
There was just a whole lot of feedback right there.
Are we good now? I can hear you. Can we get one more audio check on Joey? I think we got it all solved.
Yep. Check.
Am I loud?
Can you guys hear me on stream?
Am I loud?
I can hear you back. Yeah, you're good.
Is it still echoey?
Yeah, but I think it's just because, like you said, you got to hook up that little furry thing that goes on your microphone to capture the sound better.
Cool. We're good. We'll power through. Appreciate y'all bearing with us there, and I think we got it solved. So let's do it. Let's jump right into this TMA. The bullet points here. You can see boarding. Actually, yeah, we'll do this because I really I got in Friday. Friday was my first day there, so ApeFest was the first day. I was gonna say there was some events if anyone wanted to share prior to Friday. Any of the earlier festivities, feel free to come up and share your experiences. Otherwise, we'll just jump it right into ApeFest and talk through the updates and then the events that followed. But so Saturday, first of all, the facility was incredible, awesome. If you've never been to Area 15, try to think how to describe it. So huge indoor area, like an adult, I don't know how to describe it, like adult arcade. This would be a vast under description. Just a huge indoor room.
It's like a David Buster's on crack.
Yeah. So Area 15 would be to Dave & Buster's as IKEA is to a bodega. It's massive. And so you have this huge indoor area with all kinds of stuff going on, games. They had a tattoo parlor that an area they'd set up as a tattoo parlor. It was really cool. A bunch of people getting tattoos. Just an awesome facility. And then you walked outside and there was this huge, outdoor area, big stage. So it was an awesome facility because you had all kinds of stuff to stay busy. The musical acts themselves were great. And if you wanted to go out there and be right at the stage, like Big Cuz and I were rocking out, you could. If you wanted to go inside and chat with your friends and not be quite as loud, you could do that. It was a perfect type of facility for something like ApeFest, in my opinion. I'm just one person, but I thought they absolutely nailed it. It was just an absolutely perfect facility. And even I shared this with the team many times, the flow of the week, the flow of the event, I know it is not effortless. Like there's a ton of work that goes into these things, both in advance and throughout the event itself. It just flowed. It seemed, and I'm sure there was issues. I'm sure they were putting out fires. It seemed like it was perfect. It seemed like it flowed perfectly. There was like nothing went wrong, and everything just like how they went from like one thing to the next. Like so, we got in, and people were getting their drinks, maybe start getting their tattoos. You know, start hanging out, getting some food, and I want to say maybe like an hour or so in. I don't remember the exact time. They had the keynote. And so there was this big, huge indoor area. Think of like, again, an arcade on times 100, Dave & Buster's times 100, huge space. And then there's the outdoor space. Well, in between the two was another large room with, I'll stop sharing this and come back in a second. I'll leave that up. I'll go grab mine that showed the video of the other, when they showed the other side. They had this another room. Again, when I say another room, there's several rooms throughout the space. But like as you walk in, and then the main room, and then you go into a third room, and then outdoors. Well, this between the room between outdoors and the main indoor room was this room that had like completely wrapped around like LCD screens, and that's where they did the keynote. It was insane. It was incredible. In fact, I know I'm biased, but I've attended hundreds of conferences. I've delivered dozens of keynotes. I've been in these environments many, many times. It was the coolest, like it was the best place for a keynote like this I've ever experienced. Not just blowing smoke. I'm not just exaggerating. It was awesome. I'm going to share this here. Let me, this is where they did the keynote, right? So this is completely immersed around us. There's these screens, and like it gave me like chills. There's Tebow. Other side's insane. Like I'm not a huge gamer. I've played other sides. It's impressive.
When other side
really impressive what they're doing. How they brought in hundreds of these other avatars and where they're heading with this thing. Like it's just this. Being in this environment, hearing them talk about it, it was just really, really, really well done. So this is the room where they gave a keynote. This is again a clip of showing some other side previews and Biggie talking through all things other side, what's happening there. We also got to hear from Garga, we got to hear from Cam, and of course we didn't hear from anyone else during the keynote. It was Garga, Cam, and Figgy. And so back to. So back to the TMA tab here. Some of the other updates. They shared the collaboration with Snoop. There was also another room that was a little smaller that had it was the Mint collaboration that they're doing with Snoop Dogg. That I don't know the timeline of that, but that kicks off soon. So pretty big collaboration, pretty big announcement. In the collaboration with Snoop was like the I don't want to say it's a throwaway announcement, but it was like the smallest of all the announcements. It was the littlest deal of anything, and so many other Cortez, awesome seeing you as well. Expectations were certainly exceeded. I think I pinned that up top. I'm not gonna drop it again now from J Bond with the other details. I'll go pull that up on the other screen. I promise I'll finish a complete thought here in a second. You don't realize how helpful. Joey, you're awesome. I'm just in my catching up here to my getting my brain caught up. I take for granted having a co-host like Steve he just catches he knows when I'm multitasking, trying to find something like this. I'll just take it and run for I say 60 seconds. Sometimes.
I mean, I would love to jump in, but I wasn't at ApeFest, so I can't really jump in and help carry this conversation. I will say though, the stuff I did see, it looked like it was a great weekend. Like everybody had positive things to say. I saw a bunch of stuff from like paintball the day before, and then all the mini meetings that were going on. So, and if you've never been to Vegas, like, Steve and I were talking about Vegas last week and how it's gotten so expensive and whatever, but there's a reason why all the biggest events happen in Vegas is because of things like Area 15 and the amazing convention center. Like it is a great place for events like this.
It really is. And again, myself, I've documented many times. I'm not really the biggest Vegas fan, but for the reason I'm not is because I've been there 30 times for events like this. It really is the best for events like this because of the massive conference centers and so many other ancillary buildings that for events like this. And yeah, really really enjoyed the week. For as much as I disdain Vegas, it was probably the perfect location for this one. So we got the Snoop Dogg announcement. We got the animated series announcement. That was completely out of left field. I was not expecting that at all. You can see here the anime series on TMA's post. This is a collaboration. So they launched a studio in collaboration with Machi and the Pergarga. This is not going to be a web series, rather a real anime series that will be published on massive streaming platforms. So speaking of,
I have a question about that one before you switch topics.
Go for it.
So, one of the criticisms everybody's always had of Yuga is all the too many different directions, too many different things.
Mm-hmm.
What is your opinion of them now going and trying to go into the anime creation scene niche, right? Like, how do you think this fits into the grand scheme of things?
I think it's good. I think because it's not going to be this isn't going to be like Garga is going to go start working on building the anime. They essentially did a deal. They licensed the IP, and there's going to be a studio that's building this. So it's going to be an anime company building a Bored Ape Yacht Club animated series, not Yuga creating a Bored Ape Yacht Club series. So Bored Ape Studios is the new joint venture. And will Yuga have creative control and some say over it? I assume so, but I don't view this as a distraction per se. It's like they're an IP company. They need to get the IP out there, and I think it could be a great way for top of funnel, especially due to their relationship with Amazon. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
So this is like what we saw. So this is like similar to what we saw with what's Orange Cap Games did with Pudgy Penguins and Mythical Games did with Pudgy Penguins. Like, this is not Yuga Labs creating an anime division. This is Yuga Labs saying, "Hey, Machi and your company, here, whatever, we're going to charge you this much for the IP, and you get to go out and create an anime series."
No, I don't know. I don't know the terms of the deal. My understanding is that Bored Ape Studios is a joint venture, so I do think that Yuga probably is on that cap table. I just don't think they're the one managing the day-to-day. They just, instead of licensing it, maybe they did, maybe there was an upfront fee. I'm assuming it's more of like, hey, they agreed to, we'll let you utilize the IP, all the, everything you're seeing here, the logos, all that stuff, we'll let you utilize it. But in return, we get, I'm making up numbers, we get 50% equity in the venture. I have no idea what the terms are. I'm just, that's my understanding is an actual true joint venture. And yeah, similar to how Pudgy Party is not, it's not like Luke is out there building Pudgy Party. It's they partnered up with someone who's good at building Pudgy Party. And that's like, yeah. So I don't necessarily view this as a distraction. Now, if Garga is like, oh yeah, we're going to hire some anime people, that would be a little different. But no, I think this is more of, yeah, they're licensing their IP and not just for a fee, but also picking up a piece of the pie and grabbing an equity stake in the venture.
And what about it being Machi? Because I know a lot of people are a big fan of him, and then there's a lot of people also that are kind of tired of the things he's done in the space. Like, what was the general consensus on it being in partnership with him?
Good question. I don't have anything against Machi. I like Machi. He's never done me wrong. I know he's got a colorful on-chain history, and he's done a lot of things here, and some of them haven't worked. I'll save that for another day. All I know is, the stuff's out there, whether it was the Zach XBT stuff that got settled or, again, I don't, he's never done anything wrong to me. He's a big holder in the club. He's been in the club since launch. He was the catalyst for growing the club in Asia early on. I mean, he had, not only did he have hundreds of apes, but he gave those apes to a lot of influential people over there, and what played a big role in expanding the brand and the IP. And is well connected. So yeah, I have nothing against it. I understand the question and your concern. It doesn't bother me at all. And I'm curious if anyone else feels differently, or has some big concern with that. Please share, whether in the chat or come up on stage. But does that make sense, Joey?
Yeah, of course. And I don't, at the end of the day, I don't have an issue with him. I just know that, a lot of people on the timeline have very strong feelings either on one side or the other. And I don't know the general consensus of the apes, but it was just something that I was like wondering what was that general, how was it received?
I think at the end of the day, if the anime is good, it's going to be received well. I don't think it's going to be like, oh, this is Machi's anime series or anime studio. I think it's going to be the Board Ape Studios, and how much Machi's involved. My sense is he probably had some connections and helped pull the deal together, and they've hired people to do the thing. Would be my guess. Again, I don't know. Didn't have a chance to chat with Machi on it, but I don't think it'll be much of a concern. If the anime is good, it'll be good. If the anime is not good, it'll probably be short lived. But what got me so excited is they did mention. I mean, with confidence, Garga said that this will be streamed. This will be a series, not just a web series, but get out real distribution. So what they would go on to later announce is their partnership with Amazon. They mentioned launching a tokenized asset. They launched these. There's going to be an avatar going live soon. Amazon gaming partnership with other side, like big, deep partnership. And while they didn't say the anime series is going to stream on Amazon, I'm going to go ahead and connect that dot that it's less than a 1 degree separation from this anime series going live on Amazon. That's massive. Hundreds of millions of users for distribution. And whether you're talking gaming or you're talking an animated series, like it's Amazon and it's Netflix and I guess Hulu, Disney Plus, like these streaming giants own distribution. It's their world and you got to play in it. And I think that's a really, really big deal. And it's not just that they announced a partnership. If you saw the guy William Morris on the timeline who works at Amazon, bull posting this like crazy, like they're really excited about the gaming partnership, what's to come, and so yeah, I think it's pretty exciting. BMW launched I'm going to jump around here for these different announcements. BMW announced a deeper partnership. They bought an ape that they shared on the timeline. To be determined what all they incorporate with that in terms of campaigns or ads or whatnot. I was looking for. I shared a video. I'm going to try to find it real quick. But BMW again, another multi-year partner of Yuga and ApeFest, and actually Bored Ape Yacht Club. BMW, they started in Hong Kong, and it was actually BMW who reached out to not even Yuga. They specifically reached out to Bored Ape Yacht Club and wanting to collaborate with them, and has been pretty well received. Obviously, as this is now year 3. Bear with me here. I didn't realize I posted more than I actually did. So here is Max. This is the BMW Ape. I also love that we're seeing these brands, not just. And hey, this isn't a shot. This isn't a knock. I think how Pudgy proliferates the timeline with their derivative PFPs, their custom PFPs, is awesome. I also greatly appreciate these big brands actually purchasing the asset, buying the ape, and then building around it. Right? There's a different level of investment there, both in terms of not just capital, but more so like now they have an asset that's not just going to be a one and done PFP swap on the timeline, but something they can continue to incorporate into their campaigns. Go ahead, Joe. Get back in here.
So as a gamer, am I the only one that can't name, and this is not a knock on the partnership, obviously, because Amazon is massive, but I can't name a game that's from Amazon Gaming. Or what is Amazon Gaming? Because maybe I don't understand, because I don't know any games that I play on Amazon or are produced by Amazon, or am I not understanding what Amazon Gaming is?
No, I think you are. It's yeah, so both Amazon and Netflix have a gaming division, right? Like I've never played a game on Netflix, but it's there. I've never played a game on Amazon.
Yeah, on Netflix, when you open your Netflix mobile, at the bottom, there's definitely a tab where you can play like mobile games. But I've never seen one on Amazon, or am I just, again, not looking in the right place?
Yeah, let me pull up the Amazon gaming site here in a second. Let me come back to this. Bear with me. Pain season producer. That's funny. Oh yeah, pain. I think the echo is new location. It is echoey in here. I don't know what to do about the I may have to move rooms. I may have to go into like a bedroom that's smaller. And I also don't have this thing on my mic. It shouldn't be causing the echo. More so it muffles my spitting at the mic. But this is the only thing that's different other than the room itself. So my apologies. We will I'll have to do some troubleshooting. Might have to change rooms, smaller room that's not as echoey. But I appreciate all the feedback and everyone letting me know what's broken, because it's just a great early morning, crazy weekend, and new setup here, testing things here live in real time. And my multitasking. I'm a titch slow this morning on my my multitasking. My brain is not fully functioning. At one point here, Joey, I'm gonna have to
It's that psychedelic hangover.
it really is. It's just I can function. It's like I said this, it's so funny. I said this at ApeFest too. It's like I can function. It's like a Dave Chappelle skit. I'm just not real crisp. I can still function, just not real crisp. So
I mean, I know what you're going through. I've had that brain fog before after the psychedelic, so I get it.
Incredible time, but I also wasn't just the weekend. I had some left, and so the flight was I enjoyed. We'll just say I enjoyed a couple movies on the flight. We'll leave it at that. I think I'm not. I may not even watch a movie, but anyways, I'm digressing. So hold on one second. Here is so here's some Amazon gaming.amazon.com, luna.amazon.com. So they have these smaller simple games. How big it is, I don't know. But it is part of their gaming or part of their streaming strategy, similar to Netflix. How big of a push, again, I don't know, but it's pretty cool that they're putting other side at the forefront of it. This is maybe too like optimistic, but I think there's a scenario where they can almost lean into other side to make a bigger push with their gaming division, to have something different, to have something that brings, like, I could see Amazon driving top of funnel to their gaming division because of other side. Other side gives them something that's unique and something that's different. And so we'll see. Who knows? But I think it's, so here's the thing. Like, does it land? Is other side, is Amazon gaming going to be a game changer for other side? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's not, ends up not being that big a deal. Maybe it's not a massive thing. But here's what I would say is, what else would we want them to do with other side, right? Like, it's like they have to get distribution for other side. They've got to get out. So it's like, if you want gaming distribution, if you want, and again, streaming distribution for the anime series, well, you can go to, I guess, Stream and compete with everyone else, or you go to Amazon or Netflix, right? To get those eyeballs, to get those hundreds of millions of users that log in and may see you. And when people do get to Amazon gaming, like to be featured on that main page, I think this is pretty powerful. Now, how many of their 300 plus million users go to gaming? I don't know, but this, I think, is I think it's a pretty big deal, especially because it's not just other side launching on Amazon Gaming. It's
I mean, it's definitely a big deal. I mean, any partnership with somebody the size of Amazon is a big deal.
They're also doing it with a partnership in the form of a digital asset, right? They're launching an asset together. I'm looking for this box. I thought I retweeted it. I can't find it. Von Front, I'm going to welcome you to. Oh, here it is. Sorry, this Boximus mints this Thursday on Amazon. And here's where my details got a little fuzzy. Is there's going to be, I think there's the first one's going to be like 300, a supply of 300, and then I think there's going to be another one that will be more of like an avatar creation thing. What is actually happening on the mint? This is where, like, again, I guess I'll just take it the easy out and blame the psychedelics or my memory, but I was a little fuzzy. But I do know there's going to be a tokenized asset minted in partnership with Amazon. Boximus, they're calling it. Hey, look who's joining us here. Everyone, welcome Steve to the stage. GM sir, how you doing? Always a pleasure. We have proof of life on Steve. Were you in an airport? Are you scrambling, mad rush to the airport because you overslept? We did get an update. You were at the tables about 7 hours ago, rinsing the dealers. Did you finish up on the evening?
No, this is a by the way, sorry my voice is like shot, but this is a good time zones type issue here, because if you need proof that I have been traveling too much, I obviously did coffee with Captain on Friday. This morning I wake up at like, I don't know, maybe like 3 in the morning or so, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I woke up at 4 and I'm like, yeah, no, this is great. I'm going to get to the airport. I'm going to get there early. I had my alarm set for 7. I didn't do the time zone math today. And so I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get to the airport. And my flight's at 10:30 Vegas time. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to get to the airport. I'm going to get to a lounge. I'm going to do the show. The show starts at 5 a.m. out here. Obviously, I knew that from Friday. And I just was like sitting there, and I just woke up literally right now, again, for like the second time before my alarm went off. And it occurred to me that the show's going on right now. So this has just been I've been traveling basically for a week straight. I got 3 more days of travel. Obviously, I haven't even like had a sip of coffee because I just jumped right on. So I don't even have my myself warmed up here. But I had this realization. I'm like, oh, shit. So and then I open up my phone. You're like, are you good, man? I'm like, no, I'm good. So my flight is 10:30 a.m. this time. So that's 1:30 a showtime effectively. So anyway, I'm gonna like warm myself here for a second, but I just want to show how hilarious that is. And I thought the authentic haven't got my voice back is good.
My favorite Steve is raspy voice Steve. I am yeah, it is that was perfect. So thanks for joining us. Go grab some tea, some coffee, a honey, and we'll bring you back in here in a second. But yeah, that was great. Well, welcome. Glad you've made it, and no worries on the time zone challenges. We're basically just kind of running through the updates, the experiences. We talked a little bit about Tebow's big win that you got to capture, and we're kind of going through the updates here. I've got TMA's post and J-Bonds. Did you do a recap thread, Steve? Like I know he's posting out a bunch of like updates or in tweets. I haven't done one yet that was like a bullet pointing each announcement. Have you done one of those?
You know, I have not. I'm probably going to try to do one in this week, but I kind of want to digest it all. It's a lot. It is a lot. But what have the vibes been so far, out of curiosity? As I literally, it's so funny. I need to basically finish my packing, get my shit together, do the show. Although again, with the flight taking off at 10:30, probably need to be there by 9:30 if I can, so I don't need to be out of here till 9. So I have so much time here to do this. But yeah, what are the vibes so far?
Vibes are great. I mean, so I asked you this because Joey asked the question to me, and then we will get to all of our guest speakers. Appreciate everyone jumping up and adding to the conversation. Joey asked if there's any concern over the animated series and the partnership with Machi. I don't have any, but I'll ask you the same question. Any thoughts or concerns on who they've partnered with for the animated series?
So just because it is Machi is the concern here?
Yeah, just because of
Yeah, my question was, I know that there's like, it's a very like split a lot of people love Machi, then a lot of people don't, and like, because of all the things he's done in the space. And I was curious what the Ape reception was to hearing it was his company that they were partnering with for it.
I don't have any problem with it personally. I would assume with most people, you like, I don't know. I don't want to get into too much of the art versus the artist conversation type thing, but my gut reaction was one, I don't know. I'm trying to think of how to approach this question. My gut feeling is that no, I just kind of thought, oh, that's cool. They're doing that. They're working with him. He's funding it. I don't know what else. Like, there's a lot of people you can partner with in the world of Hollywood or otherwise, and they're not going to always have the cleanest record. So my feeling was I'm not bothered by it. It's, they're bringing something to life with it. I didn't feel weird about it, but I don't know. Was there a reaction on the timeline that was negative? And was it from the community or was it from people outside the community? Because I do feel like with all these announcements, and I'm not saying these aren't legitimate concerns, but I do feel like with all these announcements that like with any company in Web3, there's usually contingency of people who are not in the community or who have, issues with the community who are going to find reasons to poke holes. I haven't seen a lot of negative reaction to what Yuga announced in their keynote. So I don't know. Like on this one, I'm guessing this was probably the one that was least well received on the timeline. But you tell me, Joey, if you've seen that. But that was my feeling is no. I didn't have a problem with it.
No, I mean, again, I'm not in the ape community at all. I just know that I've seen a few people, mention like the list of things and it's like, how many times are they going to, are we going to put our faith in him kind of stuff? And again, I can't say if it was a lot or a little. I just know that, he kind of like has this like polar, like not polar opposite fans, right? A lot of people love him and a lot of people are kind of like over it. So I don't know. It was just to help kind of add to Cap being in his monologue, I guess.
Yeah, I'm curious about that one just because like it's sort of like this weird, like, when people are like, are we going to trust him again? So we didn't see anything out of digital asset management, although as I understand it, it was set up in a way that he wasn't making money personally on it, the way he had set it up. We had him on the show and asked a lot of questions about the setup of it. My inclination is like, if he's stroking a check and they're handing it to people to like work on, the team seems pretty stoked about putting it all together. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I to me, it's like, you're not relying on him necessarily as much as you're just sort of relying on
a team.
The team.
And personally, I would much rather than partner with someone than try to do this internally, right? I'd much rather them both from a capital standpoint and a time and resources standpoint and a focus and not having a distraction. But yeah, good question. I saw Von Frunten saying throw up Von Frunten, get in here wherever you'd like. And then I pulled up this William Morris post. William Morris works for Amazon. So this is, he's been bull posting. I appreciate someone in the chat because Beanie said, oh, no one's going to buy an ape for $30,000. To which William responded, there's a lot of people that are buying new apes right now and joining the community. I will say this as well. I can't, dozens, like well over, it was double digits, the amount of people who said, and I quote, I get it now. I don't know how to describe it. I was just there. It's still very hard to describe what the club is, and especially what ApeFest unlocks, what the in real life component unlocks for the club. And we'll get into, there's another partnership announcement, and Adam Weitzman even deeper in his support of the club. Like, I've met quote unquote billionaires before. I don't have any billionaire friends. Like, I've met Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft, but it's been like a, hey, nice to meet you, sir. Nice to meet you, Mr. Jones. And that was it. I didn't have like a deep conversation with Adam, but like Sunday, we're in the poker room. I go introduce myself, and just like the genuine, like seemingly good guy he is, and really wants to be there. very friendly, like just having a normal conversation at a poker table with a real life billionaire who's extremely passionate about the club, who's obviously had tremendous success in his pre Web3 life. And like that's just one example. Granted, on the extreme into the like wealth spectrum or the networking spectrum, if you will. But this idea of, and I know some people don't like the country club example or don't like the golf club example. It's, and I even said, you know, like, hey, like we've made a lot of these friends, right? Now what I'm seeing is a lot of other people understanding the power of the club, understanding that unlock that can happen when you go from here where we're all online. You can't tell an Adam Weitzman from an 18-year-old that just was been in the trenches. It's there's something magical there. It's really hard to describe. It's hard to explain. It's not. It shouldn't be this difficult, but it's because it's so special is why it's so hard to explain. And every single Ape Fest, every single time, multiple people are like, oh, I get it now. And they go get an ape and they join the club and they never leave. Now, the question I don't know is how they take that and take that experience from once a year to an ongoing thing. We'll talk about the clubhouse here in a little bit. Maybe there's gaming components. Maybe there's maybe there's anime, people that join for different reasons. But for me, what I love about the club most is what we just experienced this weekend. And that I don't know the answer, but if they could bottle that up and have that to where it's more than just a once a year type thing, it's a true game changer. So Von Frank, go ahead and get in here, and then we'll keep things moving. I appreciate everyone jumping up and adding to this combo. Von Front and GM, great seeing you this weekend.
Hey, GM. Good seeing everybody. ApeFest is always fun. Like, I mean, this is my third one. You know, I go back to the very first one. I met maybe like 2 people. Steve was one of them, right? Then the second one, I saw a handful of people I knew, and I met a bunch more. And then this one, I saw a bunch of people I knew, and I met a bunch more. And so it's that part's always fun for me. And even people like I've never seen on the timeline, right? Like ApeFest, maybe their big thing, and you actually don't see them on the timeline, and you connect and you find new connections that you didn't have ongoing throughout the year. No, I wanted 2 things that are kind of related. So I know Cap, you and I were talking about like, you know, what's the word? How do you describe it? How do you explain it to other people? And like the best thing, and it's I don't know, it's not the perfect analogy, but to me, ApeFest felt very much like homecoming, right? Whether it's high school or college, where you go back once a year and you relive a bunch of memories, you reconnect with a bunch of people who you've been through experiences with, and you have this common denominator, right? Whether, you know, school, campus, whatever you want to call it, right? And yeah, like it's kind of fun maybe to see like, you know, hey, if it's high school, like, hey, did they add a new gym on the high school? If it's campus, right? You know, if it's college, like, hey, did they do something cool to the football stadium, right? Like those things are neat, but the real thing that you actually care about and the reason that you go is because you want to see the people that you didn't get to see for, you know, over the past year.
And to your point, it's people that it's not just people that we haven't seen for, because like I've never been back to a high school reunion. I had fun in high school. I still have some friends. I've never been back. I don't care to go to like a homecoming for that. Here I do. These are people I truly want to see and spend time with. And yeah, that is kind of a great way to put it. Yeah, there's updates, there's other things going on, but and a lot of stuff going on. You got a list of 6, 7 bullet points here that are big deal. Bigger than all this, what I took out of the week was exactly what you just said. Well said, Von Brunton. Appreciate you. Go ahead.
Thanks. So yeah, this was my yesterday, whatever, 5:30 a.m. airport musings as I'm sitting there waiting for my flight. And so here's the thing, and you talk about like how do we keep this going, right? Here's the thing. I'm going to keep the homecoming analogy going of like why we get excited in other parts of our lives, and I think why, if the announcements are executed, you know, in a way that they are successful, I think it's going to help with that. And I'm going to use, you know, let's use college football and let's use Ohio State just because we got the co-host here on stage, right? If Ohio State football was 2-7 right now, you wouldn't be that excited to go back to Columbus.
Yep.
You wouldn't be that excited to be an Ohio State football fan. You wouldn't be yelling OH in airports when you see
Now,
other
are you
people,
speaking
right?
from experience, Von Frunton? Are you speaking from experience here as a college football fan, out of curiosity?
I need you to shut your mouth. That was not an invitation for you to speak up there, Steve. We'll see you in the Big Ten title, and we'll settle it there. But when they're good, and the whole world is talking about your team, you get that extra little feeling of pride and excitement because your team, the one that you have that deep connection with, is the thing that is being talked about and having success. So if you kind of translate that to BMW and other side on Amazon and anime series getting IP out there where Curtis becomes maybe a main character in some, pockets of the world. And, I know we'll talk about Ape Pay and all this stuff that seems very consumer facing, right? The Clubhouse, which Garga said will have a general admission area and then a VIP area for apes, right? All of these things that get people outside of our little world talking about our world then makes us swell up with pride because that's our little thing, right? Whether it's our school, our community, or whatever. So I think it'll be interesting to see. It's my hypothesis, but I think as we see those things happening more, just like in 21, when you saw the Bored Ape pop up on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and Paris Hilton, we all got excited because our little thing was starting to break out of our corner. We all retreated back to our little corner during the Bear. Maybe now we're starting to expand beyond our little corner again, and that's what gets us, kind of in our feelings again. And we'll see. I have no idea if it's going to work or not. I think they're taking the swings they need to take. They still got to make contact and get on base, but I like that they're taking the swings, and I think it just makes those in between ApeFest times like that much more exciting because we're going to get to walk around and say like, hey, that was the thing that we saw that's now on the front page of Amazon, or and in this really cool location in Miami now.
Yeah, no, well said. Steve, I saw you off mute. I don't know if you want to get in there or it was just the mute. We might have lost Steve. Oh, yep, there he goes.
Steve's regretting not taking that Colts plus the points yesterday.
He just bounced. So he taking a little quick lap. Yeah, this is the least amount of football I watched yesterday. I did watch the game on the flight last night. Shout out to Southwest for the live game. We got you back there now, Steve. I think you want to do a quick mic check.
Yeah, am I back?
Yeah, I just had to do that because I want to hear your voice again. It's my favorite thing.
No, it's weird. This is also why I'm debating if since we have people on the show, I may rest it out because I need to voice rest a little bit.
If you need to take a beat. We can we got a bunch of hands here. We got a bunch. Just jump in with anything you want to jump in on. Otherwise, we'll keep flying through the combo, and I'll limit my my questions. But yeah, obviously jump in anytime you'd like to add. And I may pick on you a couple times just because Raspy Steve is one of my favorite characters. So back to a couple other comments in the chat. Mayhem, says Amazon works well for other side if they can offer gameplay without the need for a powerful PC or console, pretty much anywhere with cloud service. And yeah, that's the play. As it is, you don't need a PC, you don't need a console. Like it's browser based, and I think it fits really well. They're really excited about it. Yeah, maybe it doesn't land. It's Amazon gaming hasn't taken off like their other divisions have yet, but they're seemingly not giving up, and love that they're taking a big swing with Yuka here. And like I said, my thing that some people have like critiqued it. I'm like, okay, fair. You haven't played other side gaming. I haven't either. But let me ask you this: if you're the team and you're building on other side, what would you do? Where would you like to see them go get distribution? Because I don't know if there's much bigger than this. In fact, I'll say I don't think there is anything better than this. I think it's probably the perfect partnership. Because it's a relationship that's not just gaming, right? It's like, it's gaming. They're going to be selling a tokenized asset together. So it's gaming. It's a marketplace. Oh, by the way, they're launching an animated series. Like, it just fits well together. It's an incredible partner. It's one of the largest companies, brands in the world. And I think this is just a massive, massive partnership. And whether the gaming becomes the next big thing in gaming or not, I don't know. My expectations are in check. I just think that from a Yuga standpoint, and they're getting to this point, like it's an incredible job. It's a big win, and time will tell whether other side gaming or Amazon gaming really hits a home run. But like I said, I genuinely mean this. Like, I don't know where else I would rather them see them partner up with someone for other side to for top of funnel distribution like this. And the fact that they're partnering with the asset is, I think it could be huge. Let's do this. I saw some more hands get up. We'll keep it gaming focused for now, and then we'll get through these other announcements, these other updates. Let's go back to Joey, then we'll go Machiavelli and then Zards. Joey, go ahead and get back in here, and then Machiavelli, you're on deck.
You had, I don't know if you were being serious with your comment earlier where you mentioned describing the club. And I know prior to the weekend, we talked about, what if they didn't announce the IRL club?
Mm-hmm.
And I know we haven't gotten to that announcement yet, but they did. So like coming out of the weekend, do you feel like there's more clarity or less clarity on the direction of the club? And if you want to wait till you get through the rest of the announcements to answer that, that's fine too. But that would be based on what you were saying like earlier about, defining it in one word. I'd be curious to know what you do feel more or less clarity on after this week.
Good question. I'll probably hold most of that till maybe that'll be a good one to wrap up the conversation this morning on. But I would say I feel much better about now. What does holding an 8 mean? What is I still, it's still hard to define, and I still think there's something there to like really nail that. I don't know the answer. It's difficult, but I do feel a lot better. And and these are a lot of these announcements are big. They don't just come together in days, weeks, or months, many months probably. So I know it's not realistic to have them these kind of updates every month or anything like that. It's challenging to go because not everyone can make ApeFest either, and because that is such a special thing. Like how can they bridge that gap? And I think the clubhouse could and will have a big play a big role in that. I truly am extremely excited about the clubhouse. It's exactly what I was hoping, and yeah, let's get through these hands on gaming. Then we'll come back to probably actually we'll hit on the other ones. Then we'll do to kind of wrap the show today. We'll do clubhouse and then just overall thoughts to end. But yeah, clubhouse will make that our last bullet point update to actually discuss because I think that's a pretty big one. But keeping things gaming, we're gonna go to Machiavelli, who, man, I'm just gonna tell you, man. I'm not trying to put you on the spot here. I'm freaking proud of you, man. I'm super proud of you. You've shown up. You've continued to support this community. You've been a very active participant in all things other side. You're there every day. You're a builder over there. You're bringing other people in. You bring in the energy, the excitement. You guys crush the other side gaming event, and it was incredible venue. Shout out to Baron and Nana as well for commentating that. These guys were pros. Like they were the real heroes. They look like naturals. Like it was absolutely awesome. I'm going to hand you the mic, man. I'm going to go pull up some images of that event. But I got to tell you, you did an incredible job. It was great to see you. I told you to get you that big bear hug. It was great to finally connect in person. But I know you put in a lot of work, and got to give you some flowers where they're due. And yeah, you too look like a pro, and they're up on that stage and emceeing that event. So yeah, really, really well done. Go ahead and take the conversation wherever you like. I know we've been talking Amazon gaming, so yeah, maybe hit on that, and then if you want to segue into the event you hosted, I'd love to hear it from your perspective.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And you know what? I couldn't be out here without the team that I have with the other games or the community. But I would like to say about the Amazon gaming, I think, and part of me, because like Steve, believe it or not, my voice is shot. It's shot. But we're watching Amazon come on chain right now. We're literally watching them drop a Voyager and come on chain and then put Ape Chain on the front page of their gaming. Like, I don't think you can get better distribution than that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you can ask for a better partner to come as big as they are with as many users as they are to even introduce something like this to. And I think it's monumental, really, when it comes to it. And right now, our swamp runs through about 500 different people on a regular basis, but that's about to change. You know what I'm saying? That with Nexus going live and stuff, like, I don't think people. And then listen, look at all the announcements. Add Ape Pay into this. Add all of the different attributes with the Bored Ape Yacht Club IP and cartoon characters, and the swamp actually being active. So not only are they going to be able to see this anime, they're going to get to go visit Curtis's home. You know what I mean? Like there's these interconnected dots that I see throughout all of this that, like, if they execute well enough, it's going to take care of itself.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be more excited to be a part of it and just be putting my best foot forward. And one of the things that I saw this weekend and that I really took is that this club has so many believers.
Yep.
It has so many achievers, so many doers, and so many people willing to help each other. And I just it's a blessed situation. As far as the gaming thing goes, like the HyperX, it was such a pleasure to be able to host. I really feel like Nana and Baron were the real heroes, navigating or narrating live on the live stream and stuff. But it was an honor, and I can't wait to do it again. You know what I mean? I think that this thing of ours is going to go a lot bigger than most people think. And I'm not worried about a floor price anymore. I'm not worried all about that. I'm worried about just executing and making sure that we all do a good job, because being a part of this is a blessing. And thank you so much. And like, hey, listen, they say don't meet your heroes, but Cap and Steve are one-on-ones, man. And it was really, really, really nice pleasure. And Von Front too. Von Front was probably one of my best, one of my favorite meetings of the week as well.
Yeah, man. I right back at you. I also got to give B Epic because I don't even know if this was directed. I think it was directed at Steve. It might have been directed at you. He says, "Who's this new guy, Rasper?" That's well played, B Epic. You win the chat this morning. Velocity says, "Sounds like Steve had a long karaoke night." Yeah, or just 4 days of nonstop ApeFest in lack of sleep. Baron, I don't know. I appreciate the hands. We are going to get to everyone who jumped up. I do appreciate all of you. That said, we have a Wild Baron impromptu jumped up on stage. We're just giving you some flowers, buddy. I'm not sure if you caught all that, but first of all, welcome, GM. We were just saying we're talking, right? I mean, we're kind of going through the whole update. We're talking on, or the whole recap. We were talking on the gaming event at the esports arena, and I was saying, like, you and Nana are naturals, man. Like, I'm not even joking. I'm not blowing smoke. I said it before I even saw you in the audience. Like, if this thing with Yuga doesn't work out, you got a career in commentating live esports, man. It was so cool. Like, it was. I have that picture. I'll hand the mic to Baron here in a second. I'll go grab some more pics. But it's just like, if you've never been to this venue in Vegas, it's a real esports arena, like a real esports arena. It was really cool. It was packed house, and Machiavelli did a great job hosting. Baron and Nana were up in there was like a room above the thing that was like basically like a press box essentially. And yeah, just it was like something you'd see on ESPN. So Baron, GM, appreciate you jumping up. Flowers, really, not just the hosting the gaming thing. I know you put in a tremendous amount of work and effort into all things ApeFest, and I think the consensus. I haven't had anyone that I haven't heard from a single person that didn't have a good time this weekend. So really appreciate you and the team and all you did. But I just want to hand you the mic real quick. We'll let you cut the line here. Again, congratulations on a well pulled off event, and most importantly, thank you for all the time and dedication you put into making all this happen. But feel free to take it wherever you'd like. GM, sir.
Yo, GM, I had no idea you guys were talking about anything. I just saw a bunch of friends hanging out and was like, hey, what's up, buddies? I'm outside of the hotel heading to the airport right now. And just literally just saw the homies up here and was like, oh, shit, let's hang out. I'm in that vibe still. Guys, I love you all. This was a hell of a weekend. Someone said it last night. It's like the end of summer camp right now where you get all the feels. I'm looking at all the pictures. It's like, damn, it went by so fast, but I'm glad it happened. A lifetime of memories created in 3 days with a bunch of new friends, old friends. What else can you ask for? Like, this is why we're in the club. This is why many of us are never going to leave the club. This is a whole different type of thing. So for me, I'm probably going to go home and just snuggle Coda today and bring out my bong and have a nice little decompression session. But man, it was just really, really, really fucking awesome to see everyone. And shout out to the fucking legend Tebow for taking home that bracelet yesterday, man. That made me so happy. That made me so happy. Like, just random. He was like hanging out with my girlfriend and Katrina at ApeFest, and they were like, he's such a gentleman, you know, like they were speaking so highly of him. And I already know all this, you know, but just to like have that reverberated about all the people in the club from one way to another, it's so much love, guys. So just wanted to say thank you all for coming and really adding so much value. And this club is nothing without us all together, guys. So appreciate what you and Steve do every fucking day. Can't believe how early it is. I'm out here just feeling it already, guys. The emotions. It does feel like summer camp because like I'm about to get in a taxi and I'm like, damn, it's over. Until next year, I guess.
Yeah, man. Well said. And talking like the summer camp analogy, Von Frenten said this earlier, and I think it was spot on. He's like, it's like our homecoming, right? It's like homecoming where we go, we see all our friends. Yeah, there's a few announcements, like, oh, they just built a new football stadium or they built a new track. And well, the announcements are cool. And don't get me wrong, and I'm not trying to take anything away from these announcements, like major announcements. All the announcements, all the big exciting news, it's really dwarfed by the actual homecoming, by being able to hang out and break bread with our friends, to be able to meet new friends in person for the first time, to see old friends, like, and the thing that reverberated throughout ApeFest, and Gordon said it last night. I've heard others. It's like I had dozens of people here that said, "I get it now," and that's I don't know how else to describe it other than, until you've been to an ApeFest, it's one of the things. It's probably the most, Steve and I do this for a living. It's probably the most difficult thing to explain or put in layman terms is what that experience is. It's I've never experienced anything like it. I go back to, like, I'll go back to Ohio State football game for a tailgate and see a bunch of college friends who I truly enjoy, like real good friends. I enjoy. It's nothing even remotely close to the experience it is like that we get at ApeFest and that homecoming, that summer camp, if you will. Machiavelli, I'm going to go right back to you because I got this event pulled up. What you don't see here pictured is you see Barrett and Anna on screen. They're back like above the game floor. You can see there's players down here, there's players on stage, and then back up above, overlooking everything was Barrett and Nana. Back up over here, like top left of this picture. You can't see it pictured. But shout out to other OpenSea as well for sponsoring this. Like there was food provided for everyone. Like, just the events really were world-class events. And any one of these, like there's a world where people would have came in just to play this other side of it. You know, if nothing else was going on, this could have been a very big deal just by itself. And it was just one of many, many side events. Machiavelli, go ahead and get back in here. Anything you want to add to the other side gaming event?
You know, just it. I said, I really feel like Barrett and Anna were two of the biggest heroes there because they had to be live on screen and they did so well. They said, listen, when you've known each other, when some people have known each other since birth, it definitely rolls off on the camera. You know what I mean? So that was a pleasure getting to be a part of this thing. And like, I'm looking forward to the next one. You know what I'm saying? I think that people were very, very happy. And, with this rollout coming out, with Amazon going live, with the Nexus going live on the 12th of November, that's 3 weeks away. In 3 weeks, we will be landing in the home of the Codas. And I just couldn't be more thrilled for activations and what we have coming. And yeah, man, like that's all I really got. Cap, thank you so much for having us.
I want to jump in real quick and just say, Mac, you fucking killed it, bro. Honeybee, Hype, G-Spot, the energy you guys brought together and making that event just exist kind of in the first place. This is what we always talking about. Just like, this is pure love. There was a point this weekend when Mac and I just kind of had a moment together and we both had tears in our eyes, like real shit. And you can't fake that shit. This is real, genuine emotion and love. And it's something special and different. And like Cap said, you don't know that feeling until you sit there and you feel it. You can't explain what it feels like to be happy unless you feel happy, and to share that moment, Mac, like truly, that was probably like top 5 moments of the whole weekend. You and me at ApeFest shedding tears together. Like, really, I love you, bro. I was so happy to meet you.
Man, I love you too, man. Thank you so much.
I'm trying to make joke of the levity here, of the sentimental moment here on Coffee with Captain, but I like, it's like real. You can hear the emotion in their voices, and like part of this magic that we struggle to define is ApeFest was awesome. The announcements were awesome. What makes it so incredibly awesome is the complete thing that comes together. And like this that we're talking about now, it doesn't happen with people like Machiavelli and the community stepping up and making it happen, right? And other partners like OpenSea, helping sponsor the thing. Like it really is it's just truly unique. Like I don't know anything else like it. Like I come from franchising where you do get like franchisees and there's community involvement there and they help build the brand. This is just so different. It's so special and really, really grateful to be part of it. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah. Let me give an example. Let me give an example.
I thought it was Machiavelli. When you started
sorry.
talking, I thought it was Machiavelli because your raspy voice. True story. I had to look to see if it was actually the voice coming out of your mic. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to try like one more time because if I can't land the plane on my voice, I got to speak tomorrow at Harvard. So I'm doing my best here. But it's funny. Like a good example of this is I got knocked out of the poker tournament 58th, right? I'm going to give you a few things that really encapsulate what the club is. I get knocked out of this poker tournament 58th, not in the money. Now, if I get knocked out of a poker tournament 58th in Vegas, I had a good time. I take a lap. I get a drink. I grab some food. I call it a day. What happened yesterday is I got knocked out and I did a lap, called my wife, and immediately walked back up because to watch a poker tournament for like 3 more hours that I'm not in, not because there's professionals. It's not like Daniel Negreanu's playing or Phil Hellmuth or anybody. It's because these people I'm emotionally invested in, Tebow, Kazi, Fundy, like all these different, they're all playing, Sailor Gary, they're also playing. So number one, I came back up to watch that, watch all the hands, talk to the people who are up there. And then when we had a winner in one of the biggest poker rooms, the most, noteworthy poker rooms in Las Vegas, maybe the world, there is a group of people loudly chanting Tebow, loud enough for everybody in that poker room to hear.
Bro, he can't win everything. He won everything.
Oh yeah, he won ApeFest.
He won Mindshare too on Wall Chain. Fuck him.
Right. He won the Project Raid leaderboard. But it's like the fact that you have a group of people chanting for someone who won, even when the World Series of Poker is crowned, you don't hear people chanting moneymaker or whatever. People give a quick cheer, they get the bracelet. It's like the relationship that you build when you go to these things, when you go to other side IRL and you're talking to people and you're watching them game and just like I watched like Squiddy get like, a couple of kills and get popped in other side. And it's like, oh, that's Squiddy doing that, where I watch Spend or I watch whoever. It's like you watch people who you feel a relationship with. And the other thing is like, it's so like, there's nothing else like you meet someone who you haven't met before and there's not that awkward tension. There's not that awkward situation. There's a lot of people that you can like, just sit there and say, oh, I'm just hanging out with a friend. And it's a very hard thing to describe. But I thought that poker tournament, the fact that like I went back up to a poker tournament where I had no skin in the game personally on my end, to watch a bunch of people play, to hang out with some friends, to hang out with Grateful. I don't know, man. It's just, there's something special to that where it's like, one of the largest, again, one of the most noteworthy poker rooms maybe in the world, had a bunch of people playing cards. There's another tournament going on. I promise you that other tournament going on, it was another, I think, tournament for an individual group, isn't having a bunch of people chant names and jump up in the air with a prize from Crypto Jeweler. It's just things really come together when you do stuff like this, and it changes the dynamic of how you feel. And it was great. And then it's like, everybody breaks off, they do their own thing. But I mean, even just the fact of how they organize a central location with the hotel. I mean, I sat at the tables a few times and it's like, I would sit down and maybe I'd be with Tebow, maybe I'd be with, whoever, it didn't matter. And it's like, oh, okay, Rita walks by and then Gucci walks by. And then, a couple other people who I don't know. I met 2 apes who got in the club in February last night and they were having a blast. It was like me, Rita, Frosties, Tebow, and we're sitting down at a table and there's 2 people wearing mutant hoodies. They're like, oh yeah, we got these in February. He's not even on, one of them wasn't even on X. One of them was, barely on X. And he was just pumped to be sitting down at the table. He's like, they were familiar with Coffee with Captain. Like, oh yeah. And then they knew Frosties and they knew Rita. And it was like, people doing that and forming those relationships where we're like, oh, dope, you're wearing a mutant hoodie. Let's rock. Let's ride together. We were riding bets together. Went to the craft table together. It's like that relationship you have with somebody who I've never met. I don't know them. We're not from the same city. The only thing we have in common is our monkey JPEGs. But I'm like, if you're in the monkey JPEG club and I'm in the monkey JPEG club, we got something in common that's very important to our identity. So I think that there's something to that you feel that sort of thing. So
it is.
I don't know, man.
It is, but it's like we were talking similar, but talking like, okay, like let's say you're walking through the airport and you see someone in a High State jersey. Yeah, you may yell OH, but it's different. Like, yeah, you're on the same team, but it's so hard to describe how special it is. And I don't think there's anything like it, Steve.
Yeah, I'm not walking up. Look, I love Ohio State as much as anybody, right? I am and by the way, Von Front, a hilarious thing. I did not bet in the sports book yesterday. I would have lost pretty much all of my bets except the Texans, including I was going to bet on the Titans. Because it's Vegas, it is geo-locked and I can't bet with my online account. So I didn't make a single bet because I'm like, I'm not betting in the sports book here when I have all this money on my online account, but it's geo-blocked. So I got saved for myself, probably losing a lot of money yesterday in the old sports book. But yeah, man, it's just I see an Ohio State fan at the airport, and I'm not going OHIO and be like, yo, let's go hang out for 5 hours straight, right? Or like wherever you see them, right? You see someone wearing an Ohio State hoodie in even the casino here. If I see someone with an Ohio State hoodie here, I'm not saying let's hit the tables. You want to grab food? I got a whole crew here. Do you want to watch? Like, imagine if I saw a stranger in an Ohio State shirt and walked up to them and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go grab a meal. Do you want to join? Then maybe we'll get some drinks and maybe we could head to something together." They're gonna be like even if Ohio State, to even make a more probably apt example to show the difference, if I'm going to an away game, at Ohio State somewhere, and I see someone with an Ohio State, jersey, I'm at a bowl game or something, I'm like, oh, cool, that's awesome, good to see you out here. Like, I'm not like going to be like, hey, do you want to join me and my family for dinner?
Right.
And then do you want to go to it's like, and then we could walk to the game together. But here, it's like, I see strangers. I'm like, what are you doing for dinner? Do you want to grab food? And then do you want to walk to the, event together? Do you want to roll? Do you want to take a cab with us? Like, you see that, and you generally have context for these people because you've ran into them online. But it just is different where the conversation, and part of it is probably the if you know factor for sure, right? Like if I see someone in NFT merchant, again, an airport or a random place, the conversation's a little longer and a little deeper than it is if I see someone in an Ohio State hoodie. But it's like, you don't just say like, let's go hang out and grab dinner. You say, oh, dude, good to meet you. Or you maybe high five, you maybe yell OH. And it's a dynamic that's hard to capture. And my hope, and I know you said we might get there, is that the IRL Clubhouse helps enhance that like ability to sort of do that thing together even more. I think they've got a good model for it. I think they're thinking about it the right way. But it's a very hard thing to describe.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, I agree. It's like, yeah, fist bump someone with a Ohio State jersey on. I'm not asking them to join me for dinner. Let's do this.
Hey, Cap, I just wanted to say real quick, Steve and Tebow and Rita and those boys that he met got rinsed. They did not rinse the dealer. I watched them get rinsed, and they had the biggest smiles on their face the whole time.
Tebow had to give some back. He ran like God over throughout the week. He's been running pure on everything, so they had to give some back. Steve, did you finish up net up on the trip, or did you?
No, I gave it all back last night. So the that was going to be my cold open at apparently what would have been like fucking 11 o'clock because I was thinking of my time zones wrong. But I was going to mention I played so exactly in the pocket all weekend the way I wanted to play, conservative, smart. And yesterday I was riding this big high from Tebow winning. Like I can't talk about how elated I was because people know this about him, but like, I love that dude. I have known him for 25 years. He was a groomsman in my wedding. We knew each other long before the clubs.
Was he really?
Yeah, Mock. This dude was on the 10th floor of my building freshman year of college, and I was on the 6th floor, and we were virtually inseparable. We moved off campus to the same apartment complex together. Like, this is my guy. And so
that's so dope, man.
Like, what's the funny part? I was telling him this yesterday. all his moves he were doing in the poker room, those are 3 a.m. Ohio State 21-year-old moves. Like a couple times he was playing some bully ball on the table, and and he was pushing hard and he was looking, and he'd tell people like, hey, can you move your hand so I can see your chips and how much you got, and flipping a card to show a bluff and only showing one card when he buffs people. It's like all these moves that like, so I'm sitting there watching this and like I'm irrationally excited, like to the point where it's like, unless I was there with him at the final table, I almost am happier he won than I won, right? Like that's the level of love, right? And so, to see something like that was awesome. So anyway, to get back to your question, Cap, I'm riding a high. I'm watching people. And the other thing that's really cool is going to sound like a funny, like silly thing, but it's like when he first joined the club and we go to an event, people will be like, hey, man, do you mind taking a picture of me and Steve? Because someone might listen to Coffee with Captain. And last night, we're at the post poker event and someone hands me a phone and goes, can you grab a picture of me and Tebow? And I'm like, it's the coolest thing to see full circle in that way. And so it's like we're riding the high, we're having drinks. He takes us out to dinner. He takes, a couple of us out to dinner at his nice steakhouse, just to like, because that's the type of guy he is. And, and hits it and we have a great time. He's feeling the high, riding it. And I'm like looking and I'm exhausted. Obviously, you can hear it. And I'm going to get on a plane to Boston today, and I'm going to speak at Harvard tomorrow midday, and hopefully my voice is mostly back by then. After the show, I'm pretty much not going to talk until the show again tomorrow, and then I'm pretty much not going to talk until then, right? So I'm riding this high, and I'm looking at the elevators, and I look at Tebow, and I go, "You want to hit some tables?" And he's like, "Sure." Now at this point, I could have closed my eyes and fallen asleep standing up. But I was like, you know what? This is, you're almost like you don't want it to end and all these things. I sit down and I just got fucking rinsed to the blackjack table. Said, all right, you want to play some craps? Tebow was hot in the craps table this week. Want to play some craps? Play the craps. Rinsed to the craps table. Bunch of sevens rolled, and it just so it went poorly. But I don't even care. Like that's part of what you're doing in Vegas. I didn't lose all my money or anything, but certainly could have played that one a little bit smarter. But you know what? It's part of the Vegas experience, and it's you're riding this feeling. But it's funny because my whole weekend I played conservatively smart. I played certain tables. I didn't go above my limits, and then I was just in such a good mood last night after that poker tournament, following ApeFest sort of on the wrap up, that I was like, we're going to see if we can ride the vibes. And could have been awesome. It was not awesome, but I'm not going to be upset about it. It's part of the game, and you know what? I got an ApeCoin raid payment coming out, which will hopefully cover those losses, and we'll ride forward from there. But it was a great like it's so funny because most people wouldn't say it's a great ending. But it's sort of like you got to have the right attitude in life. Like when I got bounced from the poker tournament, I got in all in with 3 people, and no one cares about your poker loss hand, so I won't go into the details. But I'll just say that I was significantly better than both hands, in a level where it's like I'm crushing it. And then through 4 cards, I'm significantly better. And there was three cards in the entire deck, the nines, because someone had a 9 that would end up losing me the hand. And sure enough, it comes and helps both people, and I'm out. Now I can go be mad about a bad beat, or I can say I've been on the right side of that a million times, and I'm lucky, and it's really fun. And you could walk away with a smile. And I think very similarly, it was like last night. I can say, you know what? I was stupid. I should have gone to bed. I can't believe I lost the money. Or I can say, I spent another couple hours ripping it up with my friends, finished out Vegas on a high note. They all went to the party. I went to bed. I forgot what time zones are, and we're here. And to me, like that's the testament to like what this is. And it was just an awesome time. But Machiavelli's right. I ended up getting rinsed. I ended up down. I was literally going to leave up if I had just quit while I was ahead. And I'm not mad about it. I had a great time to end it. So it was good stuff.
That's good. Yeah, and Steve, without that, like Vegas doesn't exist. Like we got to keep the lights on out there. You got to give it back before you leave. Otherwise, like they shut Vegas down if people if everyone wins. If the house doesn't win, Vegas doesn't exist. Like they don't build those billion-dollar casinos by everyone rinsing them. Like so, appreciate you doing your part.
I contributed what I contributed. I also just opened my wallet and realized I didn't lose as much as I thought.
Hey.
So my initial thought, I was like, how much did I lose last night? And I opened my wallet. I'm like, oh, I'm still okay. Like that's not a $5 bill. It's a $100 bill. So we did okay that we held a little bit of limits last night. But yeah, it's like you said, like honestly, like you're welcome, everybody. I know Vegas might be going through it a little bit, but I'm keeping it alive for you so that if we do this all again at some point, but it's good stuff. But yeah, I mean, and I'll say this: the other thing I said, I heard from multiple people, and Cap, I know you had a flight, so you had to jump. Heard from multiple people about that poker event. The two events that I heard the most excitement about, because ApeFest is expected, was Other Side IRL. I had handful of people coming to me and say it was their favorite thing. Other Side people really liked it. They're like, that was so good. It was well done. It was not too crowded, not too spread out, And then I heard multiple people say, we have to do this tournament again. Who were just standing around on the rail saying, this is like the best thing we've seen. And the team was almost like, why? And my answer, all I could come up with was, because I care so deeply about the people who are participating in this, that I just want to be here to watch how it finishes out and want to be here to show. And again, I know I said this earlier, I can't underestimate, the video doesn't do justice how loud it is. We're so excited. We are screaming hand in hand. The tournament, the poker room, we everywhere we go, Complex Con, 3-hour line, people take notice. We talked about Pudgy Penguins, we had the conversation where it's they went to some licensing expo and everybody was like, why do you have people at a licensing expo? This is B2B. They're like, well, our community asked if we can go. They're like, okay, that seems magical, right? A poker room where people are screaming on hands in the final tables as they're working on getting the money, constantly cheering, watching, sitting around the rails. By the way, the other thing about Tebow is he didn't just win that. You win a tournament in Vegas, you got a story. There are people documenting it on film, which is crazy. But we're going to we're yelling, we're chanting people's name, we're screaming. It's just it is so different. I have to think the people in that poker room are like, what in the hell? What was that? This is, people are asking us, you guys do this every year? We're like, it's the first one. It's
we're going to.
Why are you guys so excited? All those, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, every year going forward, I will, it's going to have to happen. Whether it's an official, we just have to. They call it the inaugural, so it's going to be the annual. Plus, I was starting to open the show with this during cold open. I didn't even get it out because we got too excited, got right into Tebow. I'm pretty sure, I didn't verify, but I'm pretty sure while Tebow might have been the last person standing in the poker tournament, I think I was the first person out. So I think I might have busted first, and I think we might have bookended the poker tournament, Steve. I too had two bad beats, but it was fun. I'm not. It's the way she goes, and but we got to run it back again so I can be on the right set of variants next time. We're gonna do a Rich Class Decor next, then Zards, then Puff. Appreciate all your patience. As well as everyone who's adding to the combo this morning. Really, really appreciate. Rich, I got my first Rich Class Decor asset this weekend. This fine little, I don't know if you can see the video or not, Rich, but I got this coaster I'm using this morning. Really well done. This was actually at the poker tournament. Some swag we got there. Nice ape coin coaster. Thank you very much. High quality. It is without a doubt my favorite coaster I've ever owned at this point. So Rich, GM, I think long time listener, first time on stage though, right? First time jumping up.
Hello. I'm audible?
Yeah, we got you. Welcome.
Yeah, GM, bro. First of all, I'm going to say, and most of you will not believe that, I haven't been to the ApeFest, but somehow I'm missing everyone. I've seen so many photographs, the videos, everything, and I wrote a tweet today, and something feels so strange. And I know many people from 3-4 years, but it's so strange. I just it's just hard to explain right now. And thank you, and I'm glad that you're enjoying your first Rich Class Decor asset. And I do want to take some time and thank the team for making sure that these arrived on time. There is a lot of emails going back and forth. Baron is there. And I see so many people down here in this space. And you guys have been doing this space for a very, very long time. I have hopped on your spaces, sometimes, not many times, but sometimes for true. And I just really feel I've seen all the ApeFests, but this time I just feel the family never got more closer. I don't know. It's so strange for me to explain, and I might be sounding I don't know how, but I just feel you guys are so distant, but near to my heart, and next time I hope I can visit, because I had a 5-year-old boy, and I couldn't come, and getting the visa not so easy. So next time I hope that the location is visa friendly. And next time when I see everyone, be prepared, because I'm going to hug everyone for a very long time, just to just to feel like I've met the family. So that's all. That's all I wanted to say. Really, uh, as many thanks as I can give to the team for making this happen, and for all the apes to show up, and everyone has gone through a lot of through the beer and the for the bull market, and it's just crazy. We are still here, and I feel like I'm proud that I am part of the best, literally the best club on the internet and IRL as well. So yeah, I'm just really happy, and I'm glad that I'm an ape. And lots of love to everybody. I have so many names. I wrote a tweet that I have to thank a lot of people. So I'll be thanking a lot of people. And once again, if I was there, I would give a hug to everyone, and lots of love to all the apes. And thank you guys for continuously holding the space, because when you hold a space, you bring people together, and when you bring people together, they are able to share their emotions, and which is what I'm sharing right now. So thank you very much to Captain and Steve and everyone. Yeah,
you got it. No, Rich, thank you. Appreciate you sharing. Appreciate you coming up, and again, thanks for the pulling together the really nice coaster. Greatly appreciated. We're gonna go Zards. We're gonna get to you next, and we'll get Puffin here. Zards, GM, what brought you up this morning?
GM, yeah, no, the ApeFest recap. So some of us couldn't make it. I had my tickets, I had my flight, I had my hotel books, and I also had my positive COVID test on the Saturday. So that was just wonderful. But you know what? With all of the FOMO that there was, I must admit I've never felt more part of an event than being able to watch it from my screen. There was the element of being able to be in the other side and sort of I managed to dip into that for a little bit and actually be a part of that whole event and know that was going on. But I think for me, really, what it was the actual other side IRL event itself. When I was a kid, there was a movie called The Wizard. I think some of us are of a similar age that we might remember that movie.
I love that movie with Fred.
Yeah. I think you know where I'm going with this. So it was, nutshell, it's about these kids that are traveling to California to go to this big video game event. And it was also where they premiered Super Mario Brothers 3. But for me, when I was watching that other side event, I was that kid again watching. It was like The Wizard had come to life, right? I've just realized the irony of me talking about this movie called The Wizard now. But anyway, the point I'm making is that there was a moment where I was having an out-of-body experience because James Hall, awesome James Hall from Yuga, was sporting his Zard in the other side event. So all of a sudden, I'm watching Baron and Sean do their awesome thing, and you, Machiavelli, as well. There's very few people whose voices precede them in the world, and you are one of those people. You did an awesome, awesome job. But yeah, so here I am having this out-of-body experience, watching a Zard on this massive screen from the comfort of my home and feeling like I'm in the Wizard movie. It was just so weird, but it was just such an amazing thing. And then I think it was about 10-15 minutes later, Baron and Sean then again they name check Zards and say how cool it was seeing James running around with that. And I just thought this is amazing. This is such a wonderful sort of feeling to be part of this event, even though you didn't attend, and just to feel that you just really got that vibe that everyone was having so much fun. So yeah, props to you guys for doing that. You did an awesome job. On your point, Machiavelli, as well, about you're saying about how there were all of these different elements that you are doing at the moment. I 100% agree with that. It feels like there are all of these ingredients for this amazing dish that's about to be served up. You've got the other side. You've got you've got the Bored Ape assets. You've got the Mutant Ape assets. All these things are coming together. These ApeCoin. I just think that this is going to be such an exciting year, 2026. My last point was on the Machi thing. Look, I personally don't have an issue with Machi. I think, his studio is incredibly capable. I think they're going to do an awesome job with it. He's usually very clear about things that he launches beforehand. I'm not defending him, just saying that, I've got no problem with him. And there are some people whose PFPs precede them, and Machi is one of those people. He's been an amazing support to the sort of Bored Ape community over the past few years. So I think, I'm happy to give him a little bit of slack on that one. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen. But so many cool things. The gaming Amazon hookup. I mean, God, that is like the largest possible onboarding potential I think Web3 is probably going to see. So to see the other side on the front page of Amazon gaming is just going to be huge. So super excited. I'm definitely not going to miss it next year. I'm probably going to isolate for a week before the event so I can make sure I can attend. But anyway, great job to everyone all around, and look forward to the next one.
Awesome. Appreciate you sharing, and speedy recovery. Hope you're feeling better already, and stinks, but thanks for making the right call and not getting the rest of us sick. But well said.
I did think about it for a second, but I couldn't do that to you.
I saw, as you were talking, I pulled up a few of the other shots from the HyperX Arena and that gaming event. One thing we haven't even mentioned, we did talk about the Boximus, which drops this coming Thursday on Amazon. That's the limited premiere Voyager, and we didn't even mention Daniel Arsham. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing.
Arsham.
Daniel Arsham is going to be doing a 300-piece collection, first of its kind collaboration, bridging fine art with interactive digital collectibles. As mentioned, the other side, or the Coda Nexus, is going to go live on November 12th. It is just, by the way, Other Deed Strategy also launched over the weekend with Deedster and the Token Works. Just so much going on right now. Very exciting time to be here, and it's like I think Steve said, I need to kind of collect all my thoughts of everything that did get announced, everything that got shared, and it's happening fast too. This isn't like, oh, we're going to do this 6 months from now. It's Thursday is that first drop, and I think things are going to continue to move with at a pretty good frequency. I invoked or I shouted out William Morris from Amazon earlier. He had this to say: what excites me most about this drop is it isn't just the store launch, it's what it represents. Creators and communities shaping the next era of gaming. Seamless customer experience meets digital ownership. Innovation built for fans. Proud of our team that helped bring Other Side and Yuga Labs to Amazon. Just like, man, what there's so much that we like. These dreams are like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if like I'm gonna say it, some of these were like pipe dreams in 21, 22 when Other Side got announced. Like, we're here now. Like we're like still early. We're like top of the first inning, but the last 3 or 4 years have been laying this foundation and getting to this point. It's like it really feels like the proverbial beach ball underwater. Things about ready to just boom from many fronts. There's so much happening, and yet it doesn't feel like. Joey asked the question earlier: does it seem like is there too much? Is there distractions? It just, I'm not on the team, but it doesn't feel like that because of how they're doing it. It's not all on Garga and Figgy. They're partnering with world-class leaders like Amazon to bring these things to market. And I think it just seems like they're really hitting their stride. And the Puff will go to you here in a second. The one thing that Steve and I both recognize, we haven't even shared yet, is from the keynote. It's not just what they said. It's not just the announcements. My biggest takeaway was how they said it. The aura is back. From Garga to Cam to Figgy. I told Garga this to his face. It's the best I've ever heard him on stage or in the front of a room of people or on any public speaking. Like, just like I'm trying to think of a better, like, they've got their swagger back. Steve, is that a proper way to say it? Like, it's just.
I just think they were hyper prepared, right? Like, I think, like, listening to them, I really enjoyed, like, I think Garga was as confident as I've ever heard him. Like, again, like it's nothing. There's nothing wrong with how he's spoken before. It's just he's like he felt confident. His delivery was good. He fed off the crowd. I think we saw a similar thing. Figgy felt like he was feeding off the crowd, like he was really kind of like pushing it like in a way that was it was good, man. It's very different than what we've seen before. I think on stage. I think last year, Figgy was excited, but maybe a little less energy, a little less measured. He felt a little more energetic. He felt a little more hyped. I think the content of what they delivered this year, they probably felt really confident in. Ape Team was coming last year at launch. It was exciting. It was an exciting moment, but it was like, okay, like we got a game. What's next? I think they strung a lot of things together to deliver this year. I mean, my take was, all of ApeFest was all executed. I think the timing on it was tight. The prep on it was tight. Like you said, the way Garga delivered was very more confident, more concise, more less trail off, less uncomfortable. Like it felt very comfortable in that spot, and even just like the way it was done from an ApeFest perspective, the timing on it, I just thought it was well done. So yeah, I think their delivery, and I don't know if it's like swagger back or swag, or like I don't know what the right term is for me, but I will say like for me it was just seeing them execute a good tight keynote that was I'm sure they practiced it so many times. I know how that goes when we've done investor relation meetings, when I've worked on those. I know how that goes when I've done big presentations, when I've worked on those. I'm sure that was practiced several times to make sure they felt really tight about it. They knew what was happening where. So I just think, to answer your question, I think that it's a,
I think it's also where they're
I don't know
at, right? Like, not just the prep and the time, but like you mentioned ApeFest. Okay, they launched ApeFest last year, and I unfortunately I was able to make Lisbon, but like my read is last year's like, here's what we're going to do. We're launching this thing. We're excited about it. We're going to figure it out. We're doing this thing. Directionally, we know where we're heading. To now, it's like, it's not here's what we're going to do. It's here's what we've done. Here's where we're at. Here's what we built. Here's who we partnered with. Come join us for the ride. It's just like there's this. It's just from at every level. It just seems to be more of like going from like, I don't want to say hopium or optimism or here's what we'd like to do to here's what we are doing, and we are freaking pumped about it. We're excited about who we're working with, and it went from like there wasn't like announcement of an announcement at all. It was here's where we're at. Here's what we're doing. Come join the fun. And it's just I did double tap everything you said. Just how and what they said was impactful, but how they said things and just the vibes are very real. Puff, go ahead and get in here. Appreciate your patience. GM, what brought you up this morning?
Yo, GN, it's night here in Thailand, but I hope you can hear me because my X keeps like opening and closing randomly. So if I cut out, just boot me off. But
yeah, we got you.
If I
clear
here. So yeah, you're kind of hitting on exactly what I was gonna kind of ask and get your opinions on, because I'm a part of the FOMO train of like the last three speakers. I wasn't there as well, unfortunately. I was at 2023 and 2024. Did not make it this year. I was gonna blah blah blah, but life happened. So anyways, yeah, I think this year like ApeFest was like a pivotal moment, whereas if it didn't go well this year, it would have been bad news, like really bad news. But I think this year they were just kind of real about everything and trimmed the fat from the previous years, kind of like the Elon Musk, like fire a lot of people and get rid of people that aren't needed. I kind of think that's what happened. I don't really know, but anyways, so from what I saw, it seemed pretty fucking amazing. Obviously, I think everyone knows that. And I guess my question was, you said you weren't there at Lisbon, but like, what's your opinion on like, I guess, where does this put apes now? What happens to ApeCoin? Garga was like, what did he say? I don't know the exact quote, but like, check me after ApeFest. ApeCoin's still a little bit down. Apes are down a little bit. And I've been the person that said we're going to go down until staking ends, which actually they said on stage at Vegas, which apes have given me shit for in the past. But just being real, I think that's a massive catalyst to when that ends is when we pivot back up. And again, ApeFest going well this year is another catalyst to prevent us from going down a lot further. But it went well this year, I think, and I wasn't even there. And I have massive FOMO. Like, I'm a huge Ape fan. I want us to survive and last forever. We're never going to go to zero. But when do we pivot? Sorry, I kind of said a lot there, but yeah, just hearing what you guys were talking about, I think this year kind of shows that like this could be the pivotal moment where when staking ends, we do go back up. And like after this good event, it was very family oriented because it was smaller, arguably, than other Ape Fests. But again, I wasn't there. So what do you guys think about that?
I don't think it was smaller. I think it was actually, I would guess there was more people there than Hong Kong and Lisbon both. I don't think it was small. I think it was definitely, I don't know, Steve, you were there last year. I think it was more people there this year than, I think probably partially due to being in the States versus international. But yeah, it was a massive event. Like, to me, it seemed like it was, and now granted, ApeFest 2 was multiple days, really same thing with ApeFest 1. I think there might have been more people there at ApeFest than any other ApeFest night we've had thus far. Might have been the biggest.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very bad at crowd numbers and whatnot, so I have no idea. I mean, it felt big, but what felt good about it to me was that, and I've had this conversation with, again, a lot of people at the event, a lot of the team. Like, I was kind of getting real time, positive feedback, things that I was seeing to the team as I was seeing them, and it was like, you know what I mean? Like, this one, what I like about this is I compare it to, I mentioned I've been traveling for like a week. I got 3 more days of this thing. I was in New York on Monday last week, and it's like my room was the size of a closet. And then, you walk through and you go to a venue and it's small and you're on top of each other. I forget that when you don't host events in New York and LA and some other places, the space you can get. And the space there was a lot of room, so much room to get activities done. It was like when you went to the event itself, it might have felt smaller from people because there were so many people that were able to spread out. Like, but my preference is like, I don't know if Clubhouse Miami, what the size is going to be, if they host events and things like that. I don't know what the sizes will be. But what I would say is that for me personally, what I enjoyed about this is, one, Ape Hotel, great call. Should do this every single time. They should help, Asif make it however they can, because it's awesome to be in the same hotel. Two, when you're not in a place like New York, you have, can getting around Vegas and other things be a pain? I get it. But like when you have events that are in like, it's one of the reasons why I like VCon in Indianapolis and Minnesota a little bit. It's like, you can get a nice hotel room. It's not going to break the bank. You go to a venue, and this is what I was going to get to. I mean, Area 15, I was talking to Aaron Haber the other night, and he was like, yeah, I was like, where are they going to set up the event and how are we going to all fit? And then he was like, oh, they rented the whole place. That's insane, because he's been there for things. And it's like the fact that there aren't drink lines that are, killing you, right? You don't have to be like, I'm going to get a drink. I'll be back in 45 minutes. The fact that there aren't bathroom lines, you're like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be back in a half hour. The fact that you're spread out, you can breathe, you can have conversations, the food, the drink. It's like, that to me is like something that maybe it's just my old speaking, because they had the stage where they had the performances. They had the stage where, people could go jam. They had areas on the outside, on the inside. So I just think that there's a like something to it where it might have felt smaller in the sense that we weren't packed in like sardines in an area that was a little bit smaller. Instead, it was everybody could show up to the same place and roll. So at least for my money, like that would be my venue size of the event type feedback thing, which it has to be really hard to plan head count in a decentralized, things we don't think about as participants is that if I'm running an event at my old job, if I'm running an internal communications event at Progressive Insurance, if I'm working on an external event with a partner, I can generally know tickets, attendees, space size. I can do some sort of logistics planning. Here, it's probably a lot harder, where ApeFest 1 was a guess. ApeFest 2 is probably based off ApeFest 1, and then they try to figure it out from there. So at least for my money, like as they can figure out logistics, I prefer the more spread out space. I don't care if it's in a city that isn't sort of like a main hub city. I understand and I'm empathetic that if you're flying internationally, it's probably easier for someone to fly from, Spain to New York than it is Spain to Las Vegas or Spain to a smaller city. But that's my takeaway is like selfishly, I liked the space in Lisbon last year. It was big. this one was a little easier to manage because I think people in Lisbon last year didn't even get to all the rooms and things and didn't know things were around. But yeah, my money, like I'd say my feedback on that would be I like the space and I like being in a city where I have a little room in my hotel room, where I have a little bit of room in the space to walk around, and I can spend time enjoying the event versus being on top of each other and yelling and all those things. So that would be my take on the event as a whole there.
Yeah, I agree. I think the get very challenging to pull this off, but I think the facility was pretty much perfect, and I like the ability. I think it's great to have the ability to spread out and have like the different. So, because not everyone wants the music, not everyone, it's like I think it was just really, really well done on many fronts. But I'm stoked about the clubhouse. We're running up against 10 o'clock here, so we may have to save some of our deep dives for tomorrow even. I know Steve's got to catch a flight, and I've got some things I got to knock out this morning as well. But Andrew, we'll go to you here next. The one thing I'm going to say about the clubhouse is it's exactly like I was hoping they'd do. You can see some renderings here. So the construction begins in January in Miami. It'll be open to the public. However, he described it as like, imagine you go in, you get your Bored Ape Yacht Club Black Card for members, and that gets you access into certain areas of the clubhouse, i.e. like the speakeasy. And I think it could be a really I'm also like 3.5 hours away, so I plan to make multiple trips. But I think I'm really excited it's going to be open to the public, because I think that was that to me shows a path towards profitability, towards not just a potential profit center for them, but it could and should be a great onboarding mechanism if done well and done right. And pretty excited to see it all come together. But that said, Andrew, GM, welcome to the stage. You enjoyed ApeFest, I presume. What brought you up this morning?
GM, yeah, it was an incredible ApeFest, and agree with most of the things that you guys said. I joined a little bit late. Did you already talk about Other Side IRL and how incredible that event was?
We did, yeah. We were raving about that. We had Machiavelli up here as well as Baron, and it was an
perfect,
incredible event. But feel free to add anything that you took out.
Yeah, I'm going to work on a written piece about it, I think, because I showed up and was sort of blown away. I've worked at that venue a couple times for like traditional esports events like 2019, 2018, this kind of stuff. It's not an easy venue to do that kind of event in. It's deceptively complex. It's deceptively big. And to have it packed like that with that kind of energy, I can say pretty confidently that's the first time I've felt real esports energy in blockchain gaming since AxiCon 2022. And I went to the 3XP conference that was supposed to be all blockchain gaming, X esports, and it felt a little premature. There's a lot of games and platforms that have been trying to force it, that have been faking it and manufacturing it. That's not the same thing. This felt like really real organic energy, and it made me realize that Other Side is about this platform, and it's not about the current game being the esport title of the future. It's just seeing that energy. That's the spark that is required. Someone's going to figure it out. It's going to be a fighting game or a shooting game or a MOBA or maybe all three, but I just feel like really optimistic on the ODK and what that can enable, because getting that first spark, that core energy of an audience that care and just want to see it succeed and will participate, that's like truly the hardest part. And we can build a layer on top. So just wanted to echo that. And to me, that was the biggest takeaway of, I think Other Side's like ready to turn the corner.
Yeah, man. Well said. Great take. And I agree. You can't fake that. You can't, like, the organization, whoever's building, they can't just create that out of thin air. Like that energy comes from the community, the audience, the participants. And yeah, it just like, it's hard to describe ApeFest at the highest level. And everyone says, oh, I get it now after they attend their first one. Same thing with this gaming event. Like you can see the pictures, you can see the packed arena. Same thing as Steve was describing the poker classic and the energy in there and everyone rallying around Tebow. Like, yeah, you can describe it. You can see the pictures. It's not amply describing the energy that's there. And that is what's so hard to replicate. That's what billion-dollar brands would kill for, that sort of energy and enthusiasm from a community. Like that is I think the hardest thing to build in whether you're talking gaming or any sort of platform or app. Like it's really, you can't fake that. It's really hard to create it, and we're there now. Like the foundational layer's been laid. Now it's a matter of, okay, to your point, is there going to be, the killer game that comes on top? Because if and when it does, right, if someone builds something that just is that smash hit on Other Side, they have this real organic groundswell that already exists that can, I think, send that thing to hyperdrive. And then others, once we break out of our bubble, they're going to want to experience that as well. So yeah, great take, and appreciate you coming up to share.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate it. And the best part is that energy is infectious. As more people experience it, they'll want to bring more friends, and the whole thing will spread. So this is the very beginning. It's going to take a while for all that competitive infrastructure to get built out, but like this is the real foundation, and it's fucking exciting, bro.
Yep, agreed. Steve, we just hit 10 here. I know you've got to get packed. Got some other stuff going on today. I'm sure there's things we didn't hit on. Is there anything like that was really jumped out as like super important, or you definitely wanted to hit this morning? ApePay, I think, is a really big deal. We will talk more about that in real life payment terminal in the future. We mentioned Coda Nexus going live on November 12th in passing. I think we at least hit all the bullet points. Was there anything that we didn't talk about, or maybe we talked about before you jumped on, that you wanted to make sure you relayed to the everyone tuning in today?
No, I'm going to digest it all. Like I said, normally, I mean, for people who don't know, my normal routine is I'm up, a couple hours before the show. I prep, I think about it. I do some, get some bullet points, things like that. And because I screwed my time zones up, I woke up I did wake up at 3:30 a.m. here, so I could have been well prepped for the show. That would have been, how about that? Actually, it was before 3:30. It was like 3:15 or so. I basically woke up at my normal time naturally, didn't realize it, and just kind of, like I said, long weekend in Vegas. So I'm going to gather some thoughts. I'm going to get together. I'm going to not speak for about 24 hours, and then see if I can feel pretty good coming into tomorrow, have a little bit more of a voice. The other part about Vegas is there's no coffee machines in the room. There's no place for me to make warm water and tea and things, which is also part of the recovery routine. So I'm going to do a little recovery. I'll actually let you shut us down, but I and kind of jump, because like you said, I do need to actually pack. I somehow figured out how to physically pack everything I got here in an already packed suitcase, I think. So I'm going to finish that out and head my way out to get ready to go to the airport. But no, just appreciate it. I just think like it's a great event. It's an event. Like, I only missed Hong Kong. I know you missed Lisbon for some personal reasons. I couldn't make Hong Kong work for some personal reasons. There's something about it that's really exciting, that's really enjoyable. And I mean, it was such a good weekend. And I already said it, but like that poker tournament was the perfect finish out thing. I'm glad I almost didn't stay for it, right? Like, I initially had my flight out Sunday. I ended up staying for it. I'm so glad I did, and
that's right. I forgot
just really, truly enjoyed it.
I forgot you made the change to make sure you hit it. So I'm glad you stuck around as well. Aaron, I saw you jumped up. We are closing things down here, but I'll go to you for a quick to get in here real quickly. I think this is pinned up top as well. The J-Bonds update. I think we hit on all this stuff this morning. The one thing we didn't mention maybe is a portion of other side revenue will be going to use to buy back Ape. So to the earlier point about staking coming to an end here soon, like things are lining up well for Ape the token. But Aaron, final comments. Thanks for jumping up this morning. Appreciate you hosting us in your hometown of Vegas. What stood out to you, or anything in particular you wanted to just hit on quick TLDR on the weekend, or anything you want to share with the group before we shut things down?
I just wanted to say that ApeFest was everything that you could possibly ask for. I loved it. The team did an amazing job. It was great seeing all of you. You only gave me 3 stars on the Uber ride that I gave you guys, so a little bit upset about that. But it was a fantastic weekend. It was great seeing everybody. It was great seeing you guys. And 5 stars to you guys.
Yep, I agree. 5 stars as well, and I'll give you 4.5 on the Uber right now. I can't appreciate you toting us around, getting us to that. And that's the one thing we didn't hit on that we did all, at least all of us here did experience, is the party, the Fuck It Productions party on Saturday night,
which was great.
It was really incredible. It was at the former Mike Tyson Tiger Mansion. This is Tebow, Steven, and Squiddy and myself out front. And then we had another good pick to end the night with a few other legends here. I'll show you this, and then we will let you all get on to your Monday. But this with Raheem, Tebow, and the Fundies. But really enjoyed the weekend. Appreciate everyone who jumped up today to share their takes and experiences from ApeFest. We'll be back tomorrow. The carousel will go out. I didn't get it pulled together in time this morning, so I'll get you the links that'll be out. Appreciate thanks in advance for any love on the carousel. Those likes, reposts, bookmarks, and the reminders are greatly appreciated. We'll be back tomorrow. Everyone who's traveling, leaving Vegas, safe travels. Be safe getting home. Steve, take care of that voice. And actually, I say that I kind of hope you got raspy, Steve, for the Harvard talk tomorrow, but I'm sure you're thinking otherwise. But it would be my comedic relief. But in all seriousness, everyone, have a wonderful day today. Appreciate everyone tuning in. It was incredible to see everyone in Vegas that we ran into. For those like someone mentioned Frosty. Somehow I still haven't met Frosties. I'm down bad. Despite having an incredible weekend, there's probably still a dozen people that I was expecting or looking forward to meet that I didn't get a chance to. So we talk about the size of ApeFest. It really is. It was pretty incredible. But with that said, thanks so much for tuning in today. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern time. We may have a couple other special guests lined up this week as well to do some deeper dives on some of these announcements. But until then, have a wonderful Monday. Safe travels, everyone. And as my buddy Steve would say, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day, everyone.
Thanks for tuning into Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeCoin. We hope you enjoyed the show, and remember, nothing we discussed today is financial advice. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day.
Welcome to the future.